And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the WRK podcast, where we ask the questions, but at the end of the day, who really knows? As always, I'm your host, AJ, here with my good friends Dylan and Michael.
As always.
And
every week.
Every Monday, baby. Every Monday.
Every Monday.
And the sooner we get to doing it more than once every Monday, it's the better. But in order for you to make that happen, you can jumpstart it by hitting up our Patreon page at patreon.com/WRKpod. Follow us on Twitter at WRKpod and at Instagram at WRKpodcast. You'll only find the best images and the best memes. But yeah, what you guys got going on in your lives?
I don't know. Looks like we got a nice little. You had a nice little thumbnail to the video on YouTube, or not thumbnail? Nice little picture with our WRK pod. Follow that.
Oh, the upcoming stream.
No, on the screen.
On the screen, you know, we got the WRK pod all over the screen.
Yeah. It's been like that for a couple weeks now.
Oh shit. No, it hasn't.
Since we switched to OBS, yeah.
Oh well, that must have just been last week. This is we're moving up in the world. In the world of podcasting, we are moving.
Yeah, and make sure you follow all the links. Everything is down in the descriptions below wherever you're watching or listening. I guess you can only watch on YouTube, which if you are watching on YouTube, hit us with that subscribe button, dude. Punch that shit.
Yeah, don't be
hit the notification bell.
Stop being a bitch. Yep. Don't be a bitch anymore.
But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Jonestown, but before we jump into that, let's listen to some groovy beats.
And as always, follow Dylan home.
Yeah, follow me home.
So stream looking good on your end there, Dill? No technical difficulties, no mishaps with the information?
Everything is looking beautiful.
God, we are getting so much better.
I think our watchers are going to be very, very pleased. And listeners.
No reshoots or nothing. It's all coming at you raw this week. Jonestown, baby.
Yeah, didn't we have to do 2 retakes in a row? Wasn't that twice?
Yeah,
oh my God.
I think I figured out the bug.
We suck.
It's just new software.
Technology sucks.
New software. But I think I figured out the bug. I think I know what's going on now.
We should go to the high school and try and talk them into having part of our podcast, be part of the broadcast journalism class, and they just send us over kids to just edit shit
fucking
for us.
Ruin. Just ruin.
I don't know.
I think we would probably corrupt these poor children.
Yeah.
They'd be going back to class saying so many swear words. They wouldn't help themselves, man.
Yeah.
So this episode's got all the greatest hits for our show. Mass murder, mass suicide, CIA conspiracy, cults, drugs. I'm fucking
People.
really looking forward to this show.
Clothes. Cigars. Maybe.
Different countries.
I don't know if they had tobacco there.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I don't know.
Religious like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll figure some things out as we go. So where are we gonna start, AJ?
To talk about Jonestown, I think we need to start talking about Jim Jones, and I got a light history on his life, I guess. Jim Jones, Jim Jones is his nickname. His real name is James Warren Jones.
Jimothy.
A.K.A. Reverend Jones. He was born May 13th, 1931 in Create, Indiana. His father, James Thurman Jones, a World War I vet. His mom, not important.
Just like any woman back in the day.
Essentially, I guess. But his family moved to Lynn, Indiana due to economic problems during the Great Depression, or because of the Great Depression. His father was a KKK member, and he was also a faith healer. And at one point, he didn't let Jones's black friends enter the house, and that's where Jones kind of was like, you know what, fuck you, Dad.
Like us all say, at one point or another.
I mean, yeah, I guess, what year was this again? When was he born again? Do you have the year?
31.
31? Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I could imagine around that time, people definitely being racist.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, especially if his dad's in the KKK. Like,
Yeah.
but
I didn't think that's why he was racist. I just thought because of the time period. But I mean, that makes so much more sense.
yeah, his parents got divorced, and he decided to live with his mother, and he moved with her to Richmond, Indiana, and graduated early from school with high honors. But classmates, after the incident that we will get into, talked about their relationships with Jim Jones, and they said Jones was a very weird kid. And he's, instead of playing outside, he spent most of his time reading the works of Stalin, Marx, Mao, Hitler, and Gandhi.
All the greatest, probably, leaders in the world.
Well,
All of
something
them.
like that.
Like, I don't think he excluded anyone. Maybe George Bush. I don't know. Maybe throw him in there.
Well, he wasn't born yet, but
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Fuck it.
Time travel, man. It's a bitch. I don't know.
yeah, it's just weird that Gandhi is on the end of the list, though. It's like
Yeah,
Gandhi's up in heaven looking down at hell, being like, how am I on this list? Like, fuck you, man.
They were like, Gandhi, like, we're going to have to send you down. Like, we don't... He's
Guilty by association.
Yeah. I don't know why this guy's praising you, but, like, this is kind of weird. We're just going to play it safe and send you down, so...
He likes your teachings, but you're guilty by association.
Like, you helped lead all those kids to death, Gandhi. How do you feel?
Damn.
How do you feel?
How does that make you feel?
Maybe, I don't know. I wonder what actually he took away from Gandhi, because, I mean, it doesn't really feel like Gandhi helped him.
Well,
make
he
any
just took the inclusion of Gandhi's teachings,
Right.
and then added that to the teachings of his Stalin, Marx, Mao, Hitler. Like, he was like, look, we're gonna kill people, but we're gonna kill everybody.
We're gonna do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, we're gonna make it special. It's not gonna be just murder. It's gonna be murder with a higher cause.
So what do we think happened? Like, I mean, do you think he was made fun of? Like, are the kids, outside of class, are they just laughing at him, saying like, "Oh my God, you're so stupid. You're probably gonna start a cult someday and kill a bunch of people."
Probably because
He probably's like, "I am gonna do that. I am gonna start a cult and kill everyone."
one of his childhood friends said that he witnessed him kill a cat with a knife or something like that.
Yeah, well, so he got extremely, really weirdly at a young age interested in religion and wanted to be a preacher, and so he killed a neighborhood cat just so that he could practice doing a eulogy at the mock funeral of said cat.
Weird.
Huh? Wild. That's
Yeah.
insane. Is that what happens? Like, do serial killers have two paths when they're growing up? It's either A, they become a serial killer, B, they start a cult, or C, they do both. I mean, the options
Potentially,
the
yes.
options are limited.
No, bro, the options are unlimited, I would say. You could be anything as a serial killer. I mean, Dexter showed you that.
Right. But I mean, his other path would have been starting a cult, which is probably the next show they're gonna do is called Dexter, but he starts a cult instead.
Dexter's cult.
Dexter's Laboratory. And I think that one's already taken.
Time to get sued.
But once at their school during World War II, a German prisoner of war patted him on the head, and the young Jim Jones threw up the Nazi salute and yelled "Heil Hitler" in front of all of his schoolmates.
Someone was a what?
Prisoner of war. They brought all the Germans. That's why the Midwest is super populated with German people. Is they brought them to the middle of the country and just like, all right, well, you're gonna work for this farmer for free now.
Yeah.
And then they ended up marrying their daughter.
Yep. And then we got Germans all over the place.
God, this grape Kool-Aid is so good.
It's not bad. Is it low sugar?
It's low calorie.
Yeah.
It says 33% less sugar than regular Kool-Aid on the thing, but I don't.
Extra cyanide.
Yeah.
I mean,
A little bit of rat poisoning.
Definitely didn't put in 4 cups of sugar like you're supposed to.
No. Put in fucking.
Oh,
I
it's
made a
great.
gallon of it, dude. It's like.
Supposed to put 4 cups of sugar in a gallon.
I don't
Nah,
want
bro.
sugar. I don't want
No.
sugar, Mike. This is fat fucking Kool-Aid.
I made a
fucking
I
great
made a pact
Kool-Aid.
with Buells that I was gonna try to get down to 210 with him by June.
Damn.
Yeah, me too.
Dylan's
I'll go
in.
for
I'll
it.
text
I'm
him.
in.
I'll text him.
I'm in too. I want to get up to 210 then.
Okay.
You're gonna have to start eating a lot more McDonald's.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to do it. So, any of our viewers know how to bulk up? Let me know.
Right. Or want to give us money so we can join a gym. That'd be sick, too. I'll take either, honestly.
Well, I have a gym membership, but it's been more of a gym donation for the last like year and a half.
Dude, I
have not taken the necessary steps to be at the gym at any said time in their operating hours. And by necessary steps, I mean driving halfway across town to the gym.
I like to drive by when they're closed, so I can be like, "Oh shit!"
I have a nice workbench or like a workout bench. Stupid little thing my dad built my mom long time ago, and I have a couple 20-pound weights, and it's not enough to make you get jacked, and it's not enough to make you lose weight, but it's fucking something. At least I could do my half a minute workout, you know.
Damn.
At least I did. At least I worked out for half a minute. Okay.
That's all that matters.
Dylan gets to wake up and be like, dude, I did some hammer curls today. It's not a big deal.
Right. That's what I, for the podcast, did some fucking curls. Why not? Am I going to lose weight? No. Am I going to get stronger? No.
That was
I don't know why I'm doing it. Maybe I shouldn't work out.
that was Mick Foley's, like, when he was leaving the gorilla. It's what they call, like, the backstage when you go to wrestle, like professional wrestling. Mick Foley would just do hammer curls right before he went out to wrestle. Just so he would look a little bit veinier and less fat.
That's one thing I like, though. You know, it's like even though I'm putting in zero effort, my veins are coming out. You know,
There you go.
even though I'm
Vascularity.
I'm doing jack shit, and my veins are popping back out again. I really feel you really hate your life when you lose your veins. I don't care if I'm skinny. Like I could be 300 pounds as long as my arms are veiny. You know,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Like if your cock starts losing your veins, you know you're not jerking off enough.
Yeah,
You know?
you're like, you don't need a weight loss. You need to get more veins.
You need a vein coach.
Yeah,
Just open those veins up, man.
I'm pretty sure
If you don't want to look like a Batman supervillain, like what are you doing with your life? Mm-hmm. But so in 1952, back to Jones, he became a student pastor at Somerset Southside Methodist Church in Indiana, but left the church because the leaders wouldn't let him integrate black members into the congregation. Later in 1952, Jones saw how faith healing services attracted members and their money.
Yep.
Because that's all it comes down to when you're running a cult is the money.
The money.
The money and the sex and the drugs. But mostly in 1952, it was the money for Jones. He decided that he could use faith healing services to accomplish his social goals. His social goals were to start a Marxist commune at that point. In June 11th through the 15th in 1956, so 4 years later, he held a religious convention and used the proceeds to start his own congregation, the People's Temple Christian Church Full Gospel, or better known as the People's Temple.
I very much like the choice of name. Very.
How many
slick.
Jesus-y words can we put in this?
Yeah.
The People's Temple, like it just, you can't beat that name.
I mean,
There was other people. There's other people like probably starting cults of their own. Like, damn it, I missed it. I almost had that name. Damn it.
He threw that trademark on the end of it. Now I'm fucked.
I wonder if like other people see that, especially since it's back in the day. They're like, huh, the People's Temple worked by doing spiritual healings. Now I'm gonna go a state over and start it, and I'm gonna call it the People's Temple. What?
He continued to study the works of Hitler and Father Divine at this time to figure out how to manipulate the members of the church to join his commune that he would later plan. Father Divine himself told Jones, find an enemy to make sure that his followers, or to make sure that your followers know who the enemy is. And so basically he started preaching about anything that would separate groups of people from other groups of people until it got down to the point where he's like, all right, I have a cult following now.
Right. Which I mean, back in the day, how hard, like,
Sounds like American politics.
It's just people are probably just entertained by the words, the leadership. I mean, shit, you don't have video. Like, someone told me that today. Like, you want to come to this like guy, like he's super smart, knows everything. I'd be like, yeah, I kind of just want to play video games. So I'm gonna have to pass. Cult sounds fun.
Yeah, but they'd probably, he'd be shared all over the Facebooks and the YouTubes and shit, so people would see his ass like Joel Osborne, and that guy's got a cult following. And fuck, what does he do? Shit.
Dude, there's cult fault. Like, oh my god, you think if Cardi B told all of her fans to kill themselves, how many people would we have kill themselves? Maybe more than this guy's cult.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Hey, there's this bridge, and Texas, jump off it, and 20,000
all you bitches are going to listen to WAP while you jump off this bridge. It's going to be the biggest fucking revolution in American history.
Lit.
I will show you guys my wet ass pussy if you jump off, like, before you jump off.
We jump off the bridge into her wet ass pussy. That's the thing.
Wasn't that one of the song lyrics or something?
At that point, you are Cardi B.
Yeah.
No, yeah, dude. Social media has made a cult following very easy for some people to obtain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fanboys.
Like Tom from MySpace. Like everyone was friends with Tom.
Yeah.
What's the blonde girl's name? The
Jenna
dummy.
Marbles.
Yeah, no.
Paris Hilton.
No, or wait, it wasn't her. Who's the one that Comedy Cop fucked on?
Tana Mojo.
Yeah. Dude, I see her shit popping up, like, in random places, and I'm like, you shouldn't be this popular.
Oh, yeah, you want to talk about cult behavior.
Yeah, like, someone who literally just fucking lies on her camera and gets everyone to follow it. Like, to me, that's like a cult. Like, a big following based on you just telling lies that aren't true. Like,
Right.
that aren't true. Like, that's fucked up. That's a cult.
It's the cult of personality, dude.
Cult classic.
So in 1963, Jones returned from a trip to Brazil with his family and told his congregation that the world was going to be engulfed in nuclear war on July 15th, 1967, leading to the new socialist Eden on Earth, like the Garden of Eden on Earth, but socialist. And they all had to relocate to Northern California for safety. So about 900 members, like close to 900 members, moved to California. And his church moved to the San Francisco area. And this is like the end of the hippie era where the CIA was running all kinds of weird tests on hippies with LSD. And
Oh, yeah.
at this point, he began speaking about socialism in his teachings mixed with Marxist ideologies and in his gospel. Like he'd be like, Jesus was a socialist and so are you. Like all that.
All that jazz.
Yeah, all the jazz. And he said if you were, one of his famous quotes at this time was, if you were born in capitalist America, racist America, fascist America, then you're born in sin. But if you're born into socialism, you are not born into sin.
Let's go socialism.
Interesting thought.
Woo, socialism.
It's just like, what? What?
Yeah, I mean, socialism on some level sounds cool, but when you once again look at what a socialism idea, was about for a community, it's not.
Dude, socialism is fucking sounds great on paper, but like it just will not work because of human greed.
Well, yeah. If there's not a greedy person in the world, like if there's no assholes, no greedy people.
Yeah.
No fucking idiots. Like, socialism would be great, but there are idiots, there are assholes, there are greedy people.
Yep.
The wealth is not the way it should be. I feel like that'd have to be a big thing. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you if it'd be better if we all had more distribution of wealth, but I feel like that would make any government run better if it was for the people, not for the government standards, but.
Well, right, but that's where the greed sets in. It always becomes about
the government.
Like, there's a reason in all these socialist countries that the leaders live in mansions and the people live in fucking slums.
Yep.
They just go to bed on the field they're working in.
Yeah. Well, Venezuela, the CIA definitely just fucked that whole...
I feel like we talked about
they
that,
did it to themselves.
but we didn't really have any good evidence that happened, right? We just think it did, didn't
No,
we?
we just basically ran the same program that we run in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it definitely, I remember we talked about that. It had the feeling that we fucking might have had.
Cut off their fucking supply chains and use our power to leverage that they can't get the imports that they need to give to their citizens, and then bread lines form, and then the leaders get all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, it also really exposes how unbalanced socialism is in that scale when the leaders are still doing fine, but all the other people in the country are waiting in bread lines to maybe eat for the week.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't wait in a bread line. I'd probably kill the neighborhood cat and cook it.
And then give it a mock funeral to practice.
Yeah,
right.
I've been studying Gandhi. I've been studying Hitler. I've been studying fucking Joe Schmo of Jonestown. Like, they got some good ideas.
So while stationed in the San Francisco area...
oh, shit. That name is taken. Try XX the People's Temple XX Peep Temp 69. Sick.
I'm going to have to try it out. So while stationed in the San Francisco area, Jones used his 1,000 followers to pad rallies and assist George Moscone's mayoral victory.
Is that like Satan stuff? It sounded like you just were speaking Satanism.
George Moscone's... I don't know. It's spelled like the bad guy from Batman's name.
Huh.
Like one of those like Falcone families or whatever.
Yeah.
But he helped him become the mayor, and after helping him get the election, because they were using the followers to pad, just to make it look like more people were behind him, because there'd be an extra 1,000 people at every rally.
Right.
And so he became San Francisco's Housing Authority Commissioner. Jim Jones did at that point, and he began to get in contact with very high level California officials, and then eventually just federal officials, just from that position.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, if they're, if CIA is running amok around with all these hippies, there's obviously people he's gonna have to talk to, or want to talk to. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he talked to these guys about.
Take him to dinner, dude.
Well, did you guys? One thing I didn't really look into or see much is, like, if he is talking to these higher level people, like, does it say anything about what the fuck they're talking about?
Probably just policy, just regular
politics,
regular
I'm just
bullshit.
wondering if there's any juicy information, but
let's try to change California into a socialist state.
Right.
Pretty much probably all it was.
At one point, he opened up the People's Temple in San Francisco, their new headquarters, and Rosalind Carter, the first lady of the time, was there at the opening of the new temple.
Damn.
And when she walked out, she got a big standing ovation, and then he walked out and he got a bigger standing ovation than the first lady of the United States.
Well, I mean,
this guy was swinging dick, bro. Like,
did he plant his people in the crowd though to do? Isn't that just such a bitch move to pay people to cheer for you louder?
Yeah,
well, he didn't pay anyone to do anything for him. They just did it because they were like, Jim Jones, he's the next Messiah. He's the prophet. Like,
This is Jesus.
I mean, not his following. It's not like he paid them to be there, but he just had he used his following to be like, step aside, Carter, you stupid bitch.
Pretty much.
I hope you feel good, you dumb bitch.
I need more grape Kool-Aid, dude. Shit's going down.
Isn't that like, if someone cheered for me, all I would think about to everyone else, if it was louder, I'd just be like, you dumb bitch. You stupid bitch.
You dumb bitch.
Go Joe Exotic on their ass.
You stupid bitch. You unpopular whore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm trying to think of the word for that. Stereotyping? A countryman just saying bitch a lot. Get in the car, bitch. Sorry, I don't know. I've been on it lately.
Every dude in Oklahoma right now.
Go back inside, bitch. Men are about to fight. Show these pussies what America's all about.
So it's a common theory that at this point in time he came in contact with the CIA. This is around the time when the CIA was actually founded too, like in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time of him being a socialite, that's when they think that the CIA got into his ear. So by the early 70s, Jones began calling Christianity a flyaway religion, rejecting the Bible as a tool to oppress women and non-whites, denouncing the sky god who is not a god at all.
Denouncing, he's saying like Christianity's god is a sky god, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, and he's like, and that's no god at all.
I mean,
he said the Bible is a tool to oppress women and people that aren't white. It's like, dog, 90% of the characters in the Bible, I would argue 99% of the characters in the Bible are fucking Middle Eastern. But I wasn't there to tell him that. But,
Yeah.
that's what I would have said.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said my piece.
Mm-hmm.
Drank some Kool-Aid.
To our man numbers. Everything sucks as long, dude. That's where I see no government thing ever working, because it doesn't matter what plan comes out of the government. Like he said, if humans are in charge of it, it's not gonna work.
So what if we have artificial intelligence in charge?
No, because that's made by humans.
Which could be fake. Think about a computer that you'd be like, oh, computer, do I vote? Do I get a lottery ticket today? And it'd be like, yes. And you'd be like, oh shit, like that's pretty cool. But really, it's just the lotto companies.
Okay, so I got you
hiding behind their fake AI system.
I got you right here.
It's like the Wizard of Oz all over again.
The only thing we fucking use to do anything in this country is a magic 8-ball.
That's the first AI. That was the first AI that was ever built
That's some
in this
Stone
country.
Age AI, bro.
Yeah, dude. I still use it.
Shall we vote for this, yes or no? Maybe. Come back again.
I can just see it's just basically like Wizard of Oz, like fucking Joe Biden, like we really go and see him in person, and really it's like it's just a hologram, and like there's this curtain, we open it up and it's Donald Trump. Like
What?
I don't know, man. Shit's crazy.
It's a hologram of Donald Trump's head. Just big ass head sitting there.
Oh, do you mean like a hologram inside of a hologram?
Yes.
Yeah.
We call that Hallception.
I think I've heard of that. I think there was a movie made for that. I don't know.
So in 1973, things start going downhill very fast for Jones.
I'm paranoid.
He was caught masturbating at the Westlake movie theater and was arrested by an undercover police officer and booked for indecent conduct.
I mean, was he just trying to jerk off in a movie theater?
Who has not jerked off in a movie theater?
I mean, I guess I haven't.
I guess
And
I
haven't
either.
gotten jerked off. But like, would I want to?
I've been jerked off in a movie theater, but not myself.
Can I just say, like, if it's a shitty movie and like you're going to try and get a handy at a movie theater, sure. But if I'm watching, like, if you brought me to watch like the fucking remake of Lord of the Rings, like, you better
You better get your hands on my pants.
I'd literally go to the front desk, tell him, yeah, this girl sitting next to me, I don't know who she is, and she keeps trying to give me a hand job, so if you could kick her out, that would be great.
It'd be fantastic. Yeah, no, jerking off in a movie theater. I mean,
But I mean, if you're going to do it, make sure you're in the back row.
Yeah.
Okay? Back row for sure. Politely ask the people next to you, say, listen, I'm going to jerk off during this movie. Please, would you mind moving a couple rows up? You got to pull out all the stops. You got to bring wet wipes, because things are going to get messy.
It's always sticky in the movie theater.
Or just bring an adult diaper and just cream in your pants. I don't know. Whatever works, man.
yeah.
He had some crazy ideas. Let's just say that. He had some good crazy ideas.
Well, I mean, we can make a list of people that have been caught jerking off in a movie theater, and it's like pretty small. And this Jim Jones guy is on that list.
I mean, we had a kid in our school got caught jerking off in the library.
Well, yeah, but that's not. We're talking famous people here,
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right, I see it.
I mean, isn't it crazy? What if someday he kills someone or starts a cult, and then people are going to look back on the information and be like, yeah, did you know that kid jerked off in the school library? These kids who went to school with him have a podcast.
God, I can't remember his name.
Well, Jack Nicholson jerks off in the movie theater in the movie, what the fuck, The Departed.
Damn, I've never seen it.
Really?
I haven't seen that movie either. Nope.
Man, you guys are missing out on the greatest cop flick ever.
Okay, bet. Movie night tonight.
Oh, wait, was that one of the one Wilkinson had us fucking watch or something?
No, probably
No,
not.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
That show is way too...
Anyways,
that wouldn't be in school.
So this guy, we love the fact he jerked off. I love the fact that he jerked off in a movie theater. You know, as long as no kids were around. But where does he go next after this? He got arrested, you say?
Yeah, the crime was expunged. Naturally, it's a good time to say that this guy was on hella drugs. After being caught masturbating, he began to describe his sexual escapades to his followers. And
Did he, real quick, sorry to interrupt, did he get, like, publicly, did he get in trouble publicly? Like,
yeah, it was in the
put
newspaper.
on the news and everything like that?
Did he finish?
I don't know.
All right.
But
Guy's grabbing him by the arm, and he's just like, no, come on, go!
so he starts telling his followers about how he would all of his sexual escapades, and that's when it came to everyone in the temple who thought that they were the only ones banging Jones. Jones was banging everyone, all 900 of them.
Well, he was the only one that was straight.
And, no, he said he talked about how he would even lay with the male members of the temple, and he would say, I even lay with the men, and it disgusts me, but I have to do it so they get my sense of being. That's the way socialism works.
Well, yeah, but he was also caught saying that he was the only straight person in the whole cult. Everybody else in the world was homosexual.
Really?
Yeah. But like what AJ was saying too.
He lays with men, but it disgusts him.
I'm straight, but I gotta do it.
So is this...
Because socialism.
I didn't look too much in this cult, but I'm sure with him having sex with all of them, this was one of those cults, like I know he said we don't want like drugs and alcohol, like you gotta keep your body, tight and everything.
Got to keep that ass tight.
Yeah.
If you're one of the male members.
No loose buttholes.
You never know when Jim Jones is going to crawl in your tent.
Was this another one where he told the other members that they were not allowed to have sex?
Yes.
Outside of marriage. They're married, they could have maritorial sex, but
he didn't want...
He was the only one that could have sexual escapades.
And he didn't want relationships within the community.
Which, I mean, what happened to, like, the married couples? I mean, did he not want those? I mean,
no, they could fuck.
Right, but he just...
But Jim Jones could join whenever he wanted.
Didn't want relationships outside of marriage in that community.
Like, he didn't want people that weren't the people of the People's Temple to meet people that were not people of the People's Temple.
Right, yeah.
Even he was saying that even in the People's Temple that he didn't want them to be dating because it took their mind away from the work that they were doing.
I mean, shit, they did a lot.
So basically, if you're not married when you join, you're not fucking anyone.
Unless it's Jim Jones, yeah.
Unless it's Jones.
Jameson Jones.
Yeah. And
Fuck him live this Monday at the People's Temple's Music Awards or something. Whatever fucking parties they would throw. I don't know. Just kidding. I know what parties they throw.
Yeah, he started making people get on stage at this point too, and made coerce them into confessing how they would kill their whole family for the people of the temple.
Weird.
In front of the congregation.
Like even confessing that they would kill the members that were already a part of it, or that
no,
weren't a
like
part
their
of it?
like they'd be like, my husband is a Baptist in Indiana, and I will kill him if it means that the temple will survive another day.
I will go back to Indiana and kill my husbands.
Yeah, that's... I mean, that's weird. It's like, do you really hate those people, or do you just feel bad for them?
I feel bad for them because they didn't... I mean, yeah, they knew... Everybody's got a choice in life, but if you're being...
Manipulated,
that's kind of totally different.
But it's like you're at an age in life where I think you are. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're being manipulated or not. Like that's just you're stupid.
Oh yeah.
Like you're,
Oh yeah, all of
like,
them are stupid
but,
people.
okay.
and like to say that, like, yeah, you might be inspired by what you're doing, and you might be in too deep, but like, I don't know. Towards the end of it, you're in too deep.
Yeah.
But before that, I think you had a lot more leeway when they were in like California California and like Indiana. Like, if people wanted to leave, I'm sure it wasn't as hard as when they made the move, when they left the country.
Definitely not.
Oh no, there's a reason why it was very hard for them to leave once they left the country, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Wouldn't that be weird? Like, you're just enjoying your nice little fucking cult, and, you know, in California, you're just having a great time. You're like, wow, this cult is super fun. Like, I'm loving everything about it.
Fuck it, I can't.
We go to the beach on Wednesdays, like,
fucking
shit's awesome.
Like, what's his name was saying that was in the cult in Mexico? Cesar or whatever. When he was talking about, he was like, it was fucking a great time until I realized I was in a cult.
Yeah, until I was trying to get involved in a cult, and he was like, I'm out of here. And I was like, damn, son, like, that is crazy, dude. Cults are everywhere. I feel like it's so hidden just because, like, it's not a popularity thing to shout out your cult, you know? It's more like they just care about the people that are in it giving them money. Like you said, they just want money.
Unless you're Jared Leto, then you advertise it on Instagram.
Wait, he's got a cult?
Yeah.
What's his cult about?
We were kind of talking about this one night.
Yeah, he just has a bunch of people that they have to. It's called Mars Island, and it's a 30 Second to Mars cult. And
Jared Leto.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that big of a 30 Seconds to Mars fan.
Jared Leto is the lead singer of 30 Seconds to
Matt
Mars.
Jared. Oh, I was thinking.
You were thinking, someone else did that too.
I was thinking Jay Leno.
I was thinking
Jay Leno for the
was that you? Or were you, like, I don't remember who it was we talking about that, but
I thought you guys were talking about
Jay Leno is not a fan of the cult. It's Jared Leto, and that man probably could use a little bit of therapy.
Yeah.
Maybe some Adderall. I don't know.
But he walks around dressed up like Jesus from like the Bible pictures. Like does
he have long hair?
Oh
now?
yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's like longer than any of ours. And it's just
wait, what? I thought he had short hair for the Suicide movie.
No, he was wearing a bald cut.
cut.
I think he was. Yeah. Damn. I think I've seen him with his longer hair.
But yeah, he just walks around dressed up like Jesus, and it's like $1,800 a night to go there.
I'm a fucking
Dude, how do you make money off of that?
He literally, because they're huge fans of the kill, I guess. I don't know.
Oh man, and we were, gosh, I'm not gonna say any names, but were you in that chat when we were talking about? And I couldn't tell if he was serious. I think he was serious. Or a person we know was talking about how his girlfriend was like in the cult, was like,
oh yeah, no, I was there for that.
It.
That was like Friday night or Saturday night, yeah.
And that's crazy as fuck, you know, like.
Yeah, it's crazy that he has a girlfriend.
Oh no.
Love him to death.
So in the summer of 1977, Jones and several hundred members decided to move the temple to a compound in Guyana. After an expose was written about him and the People's Temple had allegations from the former members that had left that they were physically, emotionally, and sexually abused, Jones named the settlement Jonestown.
Hell yeah.
And here we are.
Jonestown, baby.
Welcome to Jonestown.
Jonestown.
Otherwise known as Bonestown.
Yeah,
only if your name is Jim.
Yeah, if your name's Jim, you are boning. How many guys were like, God, I really don't like want to get fucked in my ass, but like at the same time, I'm not having sex.
Really good idea, dude. Exactly.
Like I ain't having sex with any girl, so I guess I'll take Jim.
I haven't had sex in like, a year or so.
And he's not a weird, ugly, like during his time, he reminds me of like Elvis Presley or some shit.
Yeah, Fat Elvis.
Like
he wasn't a super uggo.
Well,
No,
I mean,
in
the earlier days, I mean, like towards once he started getting older, I think it's he started looking like Fat Elvis. Things caught up to him. He definitely was into drugs and all that
the Valium
shit.
abuse and the cocaine and the LSD.
And having sex with 900 people, like that'll make you look a little older.
That takes a lot of time, dude.
Yeah.
You take there's 365 days in the year. You're fucking 900 people a year.
I could do it in about 3 months.
How does your dick not fall off?
Yeah, right. This is the 60s. Like, they weren't wearing condoms.
Yeah.
They didn't even know what a condom was back then.
Bullshit.
Disease central, man.
I think the earliest recorded use of a condom was like a sheep's intestine.
Yeah. Isn't that, is it
Sheepskin
intestines or is it
condoms.
skin? Is it
Well, I mean, the back in the old days, they would take the intestines out and then tie a knot in the end of it and use it to fuck.
Damn. Might have to go back to them days.
Well, if you're allergic to latex, that's your only option.
If you killed a lot of goats in the
That or
village,
anal.
They've got non-latex condoms.
Bro,
Yeah, but they suck.
Well, all condoms suck, but...
Yeah, that's true. Unless you're trying to really impress a lady and be like, I can fuck you for 3 hours.
Yep, exactly. And then you gotta drink a lot of whiskey and get some muscle relaxers.
Take an Adderall.
Yeah, whatever you need.
You need Magnum condoms for your Magnum dong. Because those other condoms sometimes will just squeeze it like a fucking python. You know?
Yeah, I don't like
Go
that.
Magnum. If it falls off, who cares?
I always
Like, is
wonder
that
what
really
my-
that big of a deal?
I always wonder when my ex used to get these Magnum condoms. They would always slip off me. And I figured out she had another boyfriend, so...
Yeah.
Well, it's usually an early sign. It's like the first time she asks you to use a Magnum, and you're just like,
Well, I got to use the extra smalls, so...
I know, that's that whole thing I said was a total joke. I only buy the extra small Trojans.
I get my shit at Spencer's Gifts.
Exactly.
Yep.
I actually, I have to pre-order it.
I actually use water balloons.
I just bought a strap-on, and just like, that's what I use.
But it's got like a holster that you can put your dick into.
Yeah.
They actually do have like fucking, they call it cock sleeves. You put it on your dick so you can have a bigger dick when you're fucking your old lady and shit.
I mean,
Only you would know that.
I watch a lot of porn.
bro, isn't that crazy? Like, what if you went into the porn industry and just used a fake dick, but no one could tell, and you were like one of the biggest porn stars because you just used a fake dick, and
You're just wearing jeans the whole time. Like, I only fuck with my jeans on. You want this dick?
that's like those videos of the girls that have like the fake tits.
I mean,
Where they're fucking huge, like they're not possible.
Like Dog the Bounty Hunter style.
Like big, like 3 times the size of her fucking tits. Like I'm talking like they have fake tits that are just
Okay.
like fucking beanbag
but
chairs.
if you can touch them, they're real tits, right?
I think there's no fucking way these girls have, like, I feel like they've got to be so, they're
mean-
impossibly big. The skin would actually
Right.
stretch, and it, like, I don't, unless it was at a young age. Totally fake, though.
Yeah, but if
It's
you can
totally-
feel them, they're still real to me because they're, I mean.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
still
of course.
boobs.
If a girl wants to have
They're still
beanbag-sized
boobs.
tits, I mean, sure. Like, I'm not going to say no. Think I'm a loser? I'm not a loser. I'm cool. I'm hip.
I like to party.
I party. I'll fucking, dude, I might buy myself a pair of them big tits so my friends can play with them, dude.
Bro, I saw this.
There's enough boobs to go around my whole friend group, okay? Just saying.
Yeah, so Jonestown. Jonestown was a socialist sanctuary. They were given financial aid to move there from both the U.S. and U.K. governments. Upon arrival to Jonestown, the temple members were stripped of their passports, many of which were later burned or
Damn.
permanently destroyed.
They had money. They got paid by ENUK. Why UK? It's
Because Guyana was formerly a UK colony.
weird.
Guyana.
And there was this psyop that they wanted to keep Guyana from potentially becoming a communist country.
They put socialist communists there?
A theory is that they put them there, and then because of the mass suicide / murder party, was designed to scare them from becoming or going down that road.
Damn, that's
To
a good-
scare them going down the road of socialism.
Yeah, which eventually leads to communism.
Yeah.
Man, that's actually insane.
That's actually really good.
That's
I've
it's
never
a good
thought
idea.
about
I
that,
mean,
you
well,
know?
okay, but to scare them, I mean, I guess I don't. how many people. It wasn't really broadcasted what was happening there, right? Like, I mean, people wouldn't have. I mean, the people
It was
who
very,
lived,
very well known what had happened there after.
I mean, now, but I mean, there was their plan all along to be like, okay, Jim, like, you know, we're gonna send you over there and all these people, but you have to. Everyone has to kill themselves, okay?
So
Like, eventually, like, is that what the thought was? Is it just they just wanted them to be like, holy shit, this guy's fucking insane. This is a cult.
So I think what AJ's saying with the CIA thing is that they had maybe inside people in the compound or whatever, and you know, maybe we're doing some other things and like maybe leading Jim Jones.
That's exactly what I'm saying, and we will get to there eventually, very shortly, probably, depending on how sidetracked we get.
Very sidetracked.
But
What's in this Kool-Aid? I feel funny.
yeah, the I lost my train of thought. Kool-Aid got me.
Oh yeah.
The Kool-Aid's really got me fucked up.
We have a brick wall down here. Where's the fucking Kool-Aid, man?
At this point in time, though, in Guyana, the CIA was running operations in Guyana, like separately, to also convince the leaders of the country to not allow it to become a communist country.
Huh. That's
And there's one guy in particular that was there. He worked out of the U.S. Embassy in Guyana, and his name is Richard Dwyer, and he was in Jonestown a lot.
Is that like Andy Dwyer's brother?
Yeah, something like that.
He was in Jonestown a lot.
Yes, and some people theorize that he was Jim Jones's CIA handler.
Yeah, I don't. Possible.
He was literally there the day of the mass suicide.
I mean, okay.
Like 40 minutes before it happened.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay, so this happened in what, 78, I think? 78, and when, I mean, they were doing like, you know, the MK Ultra shit for how long? Like, I mean, when did, because we talked about that day when that shit started.
58, I think, was the MK Ultra project being approved. It was before the CIA even existed. It was back when it was the
right. Remember when we talked about
Paperclip?
Paperclip and the Black whatever that place was where they fucking started it. That makes so much. That makes more sense to me how this happens than just some. Actually, I don't know what makes more sense. Crazy cult guy gets people to kill themselves, but with the whole thing in Guyana, right? I said that
Guyana.
right. Guyana. God, fucking damn it, son of a bitch. But
Think Diana.
Guyana. Lock it in, Grant. Lock that in.
You take some cyanide, you take some Flavor Aid, put it in your mouth, throw it up on the board, Grant.
Up on the board, Grant.
Up on the board, Grant. Nom, nom, nom.
Yum, yum, yum. Lock that in.
No, but also on top of that, they had practiced the mass suicide several times. They would call them White Night festivals or White Night dinners, White Night temples,
White Night parties.
a bunch of shit.
I remember.
Let's call it a party.
They're like
White Night party.
Like the only the extracurricular activities for the for fun, what they would do, and it's like that sounds really weird, but I guess.
Come join me at this temple in this foreign country. You're gonna work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. You're not gonna make any money, but we're gonna practice killing ourselves. Yep. It's gonna be a good time.
But do you need any money if you're getting everything you need, like food and shelter?
Well, yeah, I like to buy shit, dude. I spent like almost $200 on Amazon the last day.
A lot of these people, I fucking thought about it. You give up everything and you just go fucking start a commune with like-minded people.
That's how they kind of started. Because I think it said he had ideas. I think of like. When it first started, the one of the main ideas of his, following was, we're all gonna basically socialism, but like in a way that was like, oh, we're just like growing our own shit and we're just having a nice little,
a powwow.
Like you don't have to buy anything. Like we're all gonna help each other, and it's like, yeah, I mean that sounds kind of tight.
Sounds dope.
Yeah. Well, Jonestown goes downhill really fast too, though. I mean, they had a good year run.
Was it a year run? I guess I didn't really
July
pay attention.
'77 to November 78.
Okay, so a little, yeah, even more than a year.
Yeah, they had a couple extra months on top. But he started making members fist fight each other until one was knocked out in what he called Mandingo fights.
Mandingo.
Were they naked?
I don't know,
God, I
but
hope so.
during his church services, and he recorded all of his services on audio.
Oh,
So
on
you can
audio.
literally listen to him just hysterically laugh while his members are knocking each other out in front of him while
God.
he's reading from his fucking Marxist
Is
manifesto.
he having it like a 1v, like a person versus person, like 1v1, and everyone's
so
watching? Or?
in your head, imagine there's a guy in a temple.
Versus grandma.
And there's a guy in a temple in a chair in the front of the temple. Everyone's sitting in pews,
Yeah.
addressing him. And then on the stage where the priest usually comes up to the podium, there's two dudes fighting while he's giving his fucking sermons.
I would watch that.
I thought it was like,
Like,
some
that would be
best church
That would be
ever.
the
I'm
best
like-
fucking church ever.
I'm like picturing in my head. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming here this morning. I want you to look to your left. I want you to look to your right. And I want you to greet your neighbor by throwing hands. Okay. So why don't you just pick whichever person seems easier to kick their ass? Some buff guy looks to the right, sees a kid, like, fuck yeah.
Well, fuck that toddler up.
No one's gonna fuck with me if they see me throwing a kid around, you know?
See, I kind of wish, like, I want to know if he, like, did he pick people that were, he didn't pick, like, a bad fight. I want to know if they were good fights every time.
Right, like if it's like shit, like you'd put money on and be like, dude, like, like these guys are jacked. Like, I don't feel like, I don't know. I feel like every time I saw people in the footage and stuff, it really didn't look like anyone who was jacked out of their mind. I'm just saying, maybe people who are jacked were like, no, like I'm chill doing my own thing.
Probably.
But it's the weak. I feel like that's part of what you prey on is the weak. The skinny dudes who are afraid of communists and Hitler and
Well, you get the weak-minded people, and that's who he preyed on,
Right.
Is the people.
Uh-oh.
Fucking, technical difficulties on my end.
Uh-oh. Michael just really fucked some shit up.
Really fucking some shit up now. Oh,
just
shit.
pop back in there.
I'm gonna just pop her back in there, or what?
Pop her back in there, bud. Hey, at least our audio's still going through.
I fucked our some technical difficulties because of me.
Just a few technical difficulties. Boom.
I don't remember what I was talking about either. Who knows?
I think it's just fucked now.
Hey, it'll stay. Look at that. Look at us.
Well, I can barely hear anything, but as long
Wait,
as the audio's still going
you
through,
can't
it's
hear
whatever.
anything?
No.
I can hear pretty damn good.
Damn, I can hear everything. Maybe your jack's not in there.
But yeah, so he had Mandingo fights, and
They were pretty cool, apparently.
they started using the funds that they got from the government agencies that supported them to move there to bribe Guyana's politicians, and that allowed them to import goods. So naturally, they started importing guns. And they got a jeweler's license, which led them, for some reason, to import large amounts of cyanide, because apparently jewelers need to use cyanide.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either, and I don't know if it's a real thing.
Well, it's like if people try and, come in and steal your diamonds, like, you need to kill them with cyanide.
Cyanide.
Put it in the vent system, man.
So yeah, they also imported a state-of-the-art medical facility and large amounts of Flavor Aid, grape Flavor Aid,
Grape Flavor Aid.
which is why today on the show we're drinking grape Kool-Aid, because it's the closest we could get.
Yeah, Flavor Aid is not the word of the day.
No, it is not.
Unfortunate.
Suicide.
No, that's not it either.
Jonestown. Grandma.
At,
Ding,
the-
ding, ding, ding.
at this point in time, Jones was having strokes. He had lost 20 to 30 pounds, and he was dealing with temporary blindness due to his abuse of Quaaludes, Valium, stimulants, and LSD.
I remember hearing about them Quaaludes. I never tried them. I don't think they give them out anymore.
No, it's not a thing anymore.
What was a did they describe ever? Do you guys know like a Quaalude? Like what is it? Is it kind of like a
super downer?
It's just like a Xanax times 1,000.
Yeah.
Which is...
Have you ever seen Wolf on Wall Street?
Yeah, I remember him taking those, and I was just like, I wonder what that would feel like, but honestly, that's like something... Downers are just like, I've never cared about them that much. That's just a weird...
Alcohol's the only downer I need.
Right, and if you only have just a hair of the dog, it's an upper, you know? It takes away some of the hurt that, you know, people don't love you as much as you thought they did.
I love you all.
That's, yeah. Thanks, Michael.
So,
Because I hate you.
they in Guyana, they were getting, like, films from the Guyanese area.
Guyanese.
Take Diana. Guyana.
They got films from their country, and they were watching them, and Jones found out and replaced all of their movies with Soviet Union propaganda films, and started blasting on a PA system Radio Free USSR and Radio Havana.
And I think he when it changed to that, I think that's when he was getting fucked up, and they were like, bro, like his wife had to take over because he was just fucking couldn't do it. But I guess
one of his wives.
He only had one wife.
Yeah, he had one
did?
wife. Yeah, super hot. 10 out of 10 would bang.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, she was. Yeah, I would bang. 10 out of 10.
Okay. I'll have to look her up. Does she got any videos out?
I don't know.
She got OnlyFans?
Well,
She
no
looks
one-
like
Michael.
she looks like she's like the original Karen.
Okay.
Like imagine if you took a Karen and had her run a cult camp. Like that's
which
I
most
mean,
of them do, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I think every Karen has a cult. I don't know. That's why they're Karens, you know? Anyways, I just think that he got fucking sick. I think it said he was starting to be on the loudspeaker. How much time do you know? Because they said like almost like 6 to 8 hours of him of the loudspeaker getting used.
It's like the entire workday.
Right, like part of the whole day turned into, instead of him, it was just like broadcasts of like what you said, but I thought he was talking for a lot of it. He might have been. He's probably tripping.
probably talking over
He was
it.
probably like preaching the whole time on that bitch.
He's probably like on LSD, like, and whoa, shoots his gun. A CIA guy got in here. What the fuck?
I need some help.
We're under attack, bitch. I don't know. That's part of the. That's the crazy. I think to me that's one of the fucking most wild things. You know, the scare tactics of what they would do, and I'm sure we'll get into that. But I think the scare tactics are fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he would just basically make everyone that lived there live in a state of fear the entire time they were there. Like, it's just like that was a whole thing with the whole White Knight rituals. Was like,
Right.
oh, well, you never know when it's going to be real now. Like,
Right.
like you're living in his, like, your existence is in his reality now.
Right. I feel like people definitely knew when it was real, though. I feel like when it was time to do it, I think it just...
Yeah, they said some of the survivors, you know, were talking about how they got out and shit. They knew that.
They knew that was the time.
Yeah, this is the real one. We're going on a picnic, they said.
Well, some of them, like, because the line, I mean, you're talking 1,000 people walking up to a tub of poisoned Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And by the time some people are going up to the line, like there's already people dead. Like there are 1,000 people. Like that takes a while.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I guess that makes sense too. But I think almost beforehand, I feel like they just, because the first thing they did, I mean, was I think they did the children.
Yeah.
Children
well,
were some of
the families would go up together and they would inject the children and then drink themselves.
Supposedly because of like the children, this is something I don't know how much merit it holds, but they talked about he would do it to the children first because his idea was if the parents lose their children, then they just have nothing else to live for and they'll easily kill
Except
themselves.
for socialism, dude. What?
I don't know. To me that's weird because it talks about when they're in the camp how like parents, when they would have to see their kid get, you know, when you get in trouble there, it's fucking crazy. The shit they would do to you, the punishments were nuts, and it's like
What
parents
were some
would.
of the punishments? I didn't hear anything about that.
So the first one that I remember reading about is called the box. They said like a 6 foot by 4 foot underground box that they would just whether you were a kid or adult, they would throw you in there for hours, couple hours maybe more.
The prison hot box, yeah.
Another one that they did, which I thought was way fucking insane, was the well, where this was meant for just kids. It wasn't like adults didn't do it, but if kids acted out and misbehaved, they'd get thrown in a well overnight. But sometimes they would have it where they would hang the kids by the feet and dangle them upside down to keep them in there.
Wouldn't that like blow up your brain?
I don't know, man. Probably.
Fuck that.
The people in this group didn't have the brain power to have their brain explode from blood pressure.
Like that's insane.
Their brain was firing on 4 out of 6 cylinders.
Yeah, I had a truck that did that, and it made it all the way to Minnesota before it blew up.
Yeah, that's really honestly. I was hoping there would be more ideas of punishment. Those are really two of the main punishments that they talked about. That it was the cage. Doesn't sound so bad, like little alone time.
Day off.
Yeah, day off. Sleeping at the bottom of a well, chill. Like whatever. There's water probably. Hanging upside down from a rope in a well. Fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And then you got
Terrifying.
they also threw like a piece of bubble gum in the trash can, and you had to like Bob for apples it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Or was that only my mom that made me do that?
Nah, it
probably
must have
wrong.
just been your mom.
Oh damn! All right.
But yeah, that shit really fucking. Because I mean, you think about the parents. Like parents were at this point in time when parents were seeing how fucked up shit was and how they just like their kids were getting punished and shit. It's like they knew in the end too. Like they knew guards were all around. I mean,
Right.
they knew guards were watching the place. They knew fucking like
We just
if
got armed guards
they
around.
didn't follow through with the plan, they were gonna be executed.
Well, I mean, they had a lot of people leave too, and that's when like stuff starts really escalating.
I mean, okay, I guess people did leave. Yeah, I mean, there were people who got out.
A significant, like enough to start an organization called like the Freed Families or something like that.
Yeah,
What was this? Is this okay? So I don't know. Is this before or after that senator guy?
That's before.
Okay. See, I didn't know. I didn't think they let anybody leave the compounds.
It was very, very difficult for people to defect once they moved to Guyana, but a lot of people left before they moved there.
See,
And that's why I think when they moved to Guyana, things started escalating so goddamn quickly.
right. Fast as fuck. I mean, a year, and that seems like a lot of time, but it's really not.
Yeah, like a year, you go from being a sex cult to
Right.
Jonestown.
Like, I mean, I'd start a cult as long as it was just strictly a sex cult.
Right, like Nexium.
Well, isn't that the people that only like did a little kids?
No, that was Keith Raniere. He would only
Oh,
he would just fuck people that wanted to be A-list celebrities, but they never became them.
Yeah, let me do that.
What? So wait, I had to take a little boy room break. Fuck, were we talking about?
Oh, I was just explaining Nexium to Mike.
No, before that, about when they were in the call.
Oh, how fast it escalated because people were leaving.
Oh,
And how
yeah,
it kind of looks like it coincides with the escalation of what happened there.
Is that so? That's kind of they were leaving towards the day of closer to the day.
Well, yeah, I
when they-
mean, like, we'll just, especially the last year, and then the last year when they're in Guyana, like, shit just, like, it went from being the sex cult in San Francisco to the Jonestown.
right.
Right.
I mean, that's I'm curious as to who, like, there's no way you'd be able to leave when they were in Guyana.
For the most part, yeah.
Like, I
some
mean,
some people fled to the U.S. embassies and stuff like that
Oh,
over the year.
did they find it? Like, I just remember they were, because I mean, what we were going to talk about is like that the camp that they were at was 7 miles from anything.
Yeah.
Which isn't that terribly far, but when you're out, like, if you look at the compound and, like, where it's at, it's like, I guess, but they did have a road. They had a road, so it's like, just follow the shitty dirt road.
Right, but, you know, if somebody notices you're missing, and then fucking you got armed soldiers fucking tracking you through the forest.
True, and I mean, that's one thing, like, they talked about
Red
kids.
Guard.
They talked about kids leaving, you know, running into the woods and shit, and, like, I mean, I'm sure people had ways to maybe get away, but I mean, no one was going to. Majority of the people weren't. Like, I feel like at that point when they knew there was armed guards to kill people who were leaving, like, you couldn't have pulled that shit in San Francisco, you know?
No.
Couldn't have pulled that shit in San Francisco.
So, the Congressman Leo Ryan event is what really kicks off Jonestown.
And what, real quick, Leo Ryan, where is he? Where was he the congressman of? Was it California?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. I
would assume California.
I thought that maybe Indiana. I don't. Yeah, let's look it up. I was supposed to do that before I came over.
Because it was because of that 6-year-old boy, isn't it? That they that what's his name said was his kid. Jim Jones said was his kid.
I actually have his name in here.
So that Jim Jones said it was his kid, so that
Timothy Stone.
Yeah,
he was one of the people. Like,
that was the dad.
I was gonna remember
that. The dad.
When people would have kids there or had children, like, that's something Jim Jones would do, was have them sign the papers over to have the kids get signed over to him. Like that. That
so
was kind of nuts.
The mom left.
Well, Jones was also sexually active with Stone's wife.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Stone's wife left him as they were moving to Guyana, and Jones had told Stone, bring the boy to Jonestown before there's a custody battle, because that'll make it that much harder for the custody battle to happen. And then Stone ends up defecting as well, and he can't take the kid with him.
I thought it said that, and I could be wrong, but I thought it said that him and his wife tried to get the kid back, and maybe afterwards,
that's the reason the senator went down there.
Right?
It was like a wellness check.
Well,
or something.
it was the senator went down there for a lot of reasons. Most of it was there was a organization of people who had defected from the people of the People's Temple. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a whole they were just a part of the organization. The Stones were, but there were a bunch of people being like, "Hey, our family is trying to leave. They won't let them leave." Like, it was a human rights violation investigation, is why the senator was sent there, or congressman was sent there.
Mm-hmm. Dude, so I don't know if I had the exact number written down, but it was something like, during the time that they were there, 33 babies were born.
Jesus.
And so that's just
a lot of fucking happening.
And that's, I mean, yeah.
And that's crazy, because, you know, the gestation period of humans is 9 months. So within that year and year and 3 months that they were fucking out there, the 30 whatever women got pregnant within like the first 3 months.
Right, and and he was banging, and you know what?
He was throwing dick, dude.
Bro, if I mean, it's wild, because, you know, if you think about it, it's like, well, if the CIA and, like, the UK, and if they were in charge of, like, getting him out there, I'd fucking hold the US and UK responsible for fucking murdering 33 young children.
So this is where the story gets really, really interesting. So you remember how we were talking about Dwyer, the CIA agent that was stationed at Jonestown, or not at Jonestown, but he was there all the time?
Yep.
Okay, so November 14th, Leo Ryan, the only congressman in history to die in the line of duty, was sent on a fact-finding mission to Jonestown on the human rights violation investigation brought to Congress, or the government, through the press, through the organization. An interesting fact about Leo Ryan is that Leo Ryan, a year before the fact-finding mission, put into legislation the very bill that got JFK killed. The bill required the CIA to report every operation that the agency was planning to 11 House oversight committees.
So you said that JFK was trying to put into place
that the speech that he gave right before Dallas when he got shot about secret societies and the CIA.
Yeah. That's what he was fighting against.
That's what Leo Ryan was fighting for. He put into, it was called like the Ryan Munt Act or something like that.
You're saying he fought for it in the fact he wanted CIA to be exposed?
Yes.
Okay.
He wanted them to have to testify for every operation in front of 11 different congressional committees.
That does make things very spicy.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I wonder who went down there with
Yeah,
them.
who told him to go? It's like he got a word from someone up in the chain of command to be like, well, listen, this is big. We need you to go there.
Bro, listening to a lot of things that he did, he was hands on as fuck in the type of like the role that he was, man. Like you don't see. You don't.
Well,
see,
he would randomly show up to Langley and like grill unannounced CIA higher ups. Like he was. For being what was he? He was an English teacher before he was in Congress.
Damn,
dude, he was after ass.
He was after,
and not in the same way that Jim Jones was.
Dude, well, he had himself thrown in fucking Folsom Prison just to see just to see the fucking conditions or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like that's the 60 days in before that shit even fucking
right. You don't even get famous for being on the show. You're just like, fuck it, dude. This is my adrenaline rush, dude. I'm gonna get jacked as fuck in prison. Talk about a diet routine or a workout routine that actually works. Prison. Just go to 60 days in fucking prison.
So another thing that makes this really fucking crazy is that this is, I think, a year and a half after George H.W. Bush had resigned as the CIA head director and became vice president. But they still called him the shadow operator of the CIA.
Yeah, right. Dude, it makes a lot. It makes sense, but at the same time, it's just weird that. So you got two sides of it, I feel like. You got one side where it's this crazy guy who ends up killing himself, and they're just like, thank God he decided to kill himself, because that totally helps the movement. Or it's like CIA handler, mind control. Jim Jones is being controlled the whole time. I mean, you talk about like he's on LSD and drugs. Like the most times that when they did MK Ultra, the most times they did that when people were on like LSD and shrooms when they were the most susceptible.
Right, right. And
he must have had right-hand mans, like
Jim Jones, the inner
like
circle.
That guy,
he called it the inner circle.
And
what about the inner circle? I didn't read about the inner circle.
Was the CIA dude part of that inner circle or no?
He was there enough to probably be part of it. He was there 40 minutes before the suicide started.
He had to go 40 minutes before to like mind fuck him into being like, okay, like now it's real. Now it's time to shoot yourself and kill all these babies and people.
Well, he was there. So he was there when Jones ordered the assassination squad on Ryan.
Well,
Dwyer was.
Some people say that Jones didn't order that assassination squad. Like there's eyewitnesses that were talking about how, that he was arguing with some other people about, this assassination thing or whatever of the congressman.
It would make
but he sent a guy in with a concealed handgun, and the plan was when the suicide starts, it's audio, like the whole suicide thing is audio recorded.
Really?
Yeah, and you can listen to it. I've listened to a lot of it.
I heard a few recordings. I gotta listen to more. I tried to listen to what I could.
When he starts talking about like why they need to kill themselves is because he says one of our defectors has a gun and he's currently shooting the pilot while it's flying over the ocean with the congressman and the reporters. And the guy who was supposed to shoot the pilot on the plane got tackled by a fucking NBC reporter and didn't end up shooting. Like he shot 3 people but didn't kill anyone. Was the guy on the? There were other people. There were other people that were shooting.
There, or like
before they took off.
Oof! Wow.
Before he got hasty and pulled his gun out before they took off.
Well, there's 4 other people that went.
There were 9 other shooters.
Oh, I thought it was
not in Guyana, but before they took off.
In Guyana. In Guyana.
People, yeah, okay.
As they were, because the only person that was arrested from this whole thing was Don Sly, a Jonestown member who attacked Ryan with a knife. The only person arrested.
Huh.
Feel Feel the wrath of my knife, bitch.
1,000 dead, only one person arrested.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a CIA op.
Yeah, everyone else is dead. I mean, they talked about the guards also, like the people with guns killing themselves.
So that's what
And
I'm
I'm
saying.
like, damn, that's weird as fuck, because you would think those guys with guns would be the type of people. You see it in movies and shit. The people who have the power above the low level people are like, well, fuck that. I'm not dying for this. Like, I'll kill people, but I'm gonna be the last one alive. Like, I'm not. But I think the people who were holding the guns also killed themselves afterwards.
Yeah. So did you guys see anything about like the notes that were the suicide notes?
Well, yeah, I saw some suicide notes.
Okay.
I didn't. I want to know.
So one of them that I thought was kind of interesting or whatever was the guy talking about how Jones didn't order that hit and whatever. And that kind of made me thinking, made it more even seem like, oh, this was a CIA plot, because it's like they already knew that they do these fucking white night drills.
Oh, yeah.
They do these white night drills, Maybe Jones was ordering the hit maybe because he had somebody in his ear,
Yeah, no, that's what I think. Jones was just an asset.
Yeah, he was just a puppet too.
Yeah. That's basically what an asset is.
Do we think
to the
there was
CIA.
someone above Leo? Do we think there was someone above Leo that helped push him?
No, because the
Leo was on the opposite
there?
side.
The
I know, but that kind of gave, maybe there was someone he didn't even know that helped him decide to go to Guyana.
He didn't
Somebody was like, "Oh, bro, you got to go."
He was
here.
convinced to go.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't decide to go there.
Okay.
He was basically
Wow.
told that he was the person to go
your
there
help down here.
because of his undercover or like his on hands experience.
Right. He got played. You played yourself, Leo.
Yeah, he
Leo
played
Ryan,
himself
you
the minute he
played
jumped in
yourself.
Folsom Prison, dude.
Yep.
But he
It's like, I'm hard as fuck. I'll fucking go to Guyana right now. I'll fucking kill a bitch.
So
I'll kill a bitch.
they arrived to Jonestown in a limousine.
Of course, duh.
Third world country.
If you're gonna drive 7 miles from the nearest town on shitty dirt roads, it better be in a goddamn limo.
Yeah, and so it was him like and 7 reporters, and they like welcomed him there. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna like make it look like everything's normal here."
I thought they flew into Guyana.
They flew into Georgetown and then drove to Jonestown.
Oh, so maybe they got shot because the picture,
On the
at least what
airstrip.
it is
It
when
was
they were
on
on the
the airstrip.
airstrip.
Yeah.
I thought they were saying they had a private airstrip.
I mean, in
Yeah, I
that
don't
country,
know.
it basically is private if you got an airplane.
Right. Yeah, I guess you're
You
right.
just gotta land on some really shitty road, but I mean, other than that, like you're chilling.
It's like some Far Cry airstrip.
Right.
So they get out of the limousine, and one of the NBC reporters, I think maybe ABC reporters, gets slipped a note from Vernon Gosney, one of the
Is
temple.
that Ryan
one of
Gosling's brother?
No, Gosney.
Okay.
He thank God thinks knee, Gosney.
Gossy. Lock that in. Lock it in, AJ.
But it was a note saying, "We need your help defecting, yada yada yada. Me and Monica Bagby, whatever the fuck her name is."
Yep.
And so on the 18th, after the temple member Don Sly attacked Ryan with a knife, he puts Gosney and Bagby in the. They leave on like the back of a dump truck, I think is what I remember reading. It's like they just fucking haul ass to the airport. They're like, we're getting the fuck out of here. And what the fuck's his name? The CIA agent. Oh man, I can't remember. Richard Dwyer. He stays behind to make a report of it. They go to the airstrip. And they're waiting for their flight because they had 2 extra people, so the plane wasn't big enough for the 11 people that were trying to leave now.
Yeah.
So they had to call in a second plane to take them all to safety. And fucking a tractor with a trailer pulling a trailer behind it shows up.
Like a hayride.
Yeah.
Looked like a hayride at a haunted hayride.
And nine gunmen circle the plane, firing on it. And the first 10 seconds of it is captured by the NBC cameraman. Like, you can watch it start.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Really?
And yeah.
I think I might have seen some footage, but it's so hard to tell. Like, are these guys showing real footage, or is it is this a fake? But I mean, I think I saw it. The tractor with the. God, I want to watch that video.
And you want to talk about sending a fucking message to anyone that wants to fuck with the CIA? Ryan was killed by being shot more than 20 times, along with a cameraman and 2 others were dead. But Ryan was shot more than 20 times. And the next day, the legislation, the bill that he brought up, was dropped on the floor.
Jesus.
If that doesn't make you want to drink some Kool-Aid, I
want to drink some Kool-Aid. I brought my own cyanide.
That's good because I didn't put any in this mix.
Give me like half of or a third of the cup. There you go. I'm gonna mix some Fireball with this grape Kool-Aid. It's my new creation. It's no big deal. I didn't look into any of that with the CIA, and
it kind of fell. I didn't look into it that much either. It just kind of fell in my lap.
I didn't realize how crazy that shit is.
I stumbled across the right fucking page, dude.
This is gonna be one of those stories that I just can't stop telling people because I'm like, okay, now you've heard of Jonestown, okay, but have you heard of the CIA being involved? At this point, with that kind of information, I'm not saying I'm gullible and I 100% believe it, but if you told me to bet money and you gave me $100 and bet what actually happened, I'd put it on the fact that the CIA was almost in control of it now. If all of that information is true, his bill to open up the CIA is true, like.
Oh yeah, I mean you can. Fuck. It's on record, like you can see, like it is a bill. It's called like the Ryan Munt Act or something like that.
I mean, that's where my curiousness of when they were in San Francisco and they had like Carter's wife fucking there and like all that shit. You don't get into that kind of position without fucking with some high level people, which is why I was gonna say. That's why I asked, like, is there anything out of the ordinary that he talked about with people? And you guys kind of just said like socialism, but it's like there's probably so much deeper shit than that. Whether they talked to him about it or they mind controlled him, either way. But I almost want to believe the mind control, because who in that position, you know. I just feel like you're not in that position in the right mind.
Oh yeah,
you don't get into that. Like you start off in a position where you're starting your cult, which I guess this brings up. Sorry to be so scatterbrained, but when did the cult? Do you remember when the cult actually started? When he started saying, listen, we're just we're a group that wants to just fend for ourselves,
Well, the whole fending for themselves thing started when they moved to Jonestown, but I thought the temple started in 1956. So that's
a long fucking
that's 32
time.
years.
That is a long time, and the fact that he only had like almost 1,000 members to me is small pussy fry. Like that guy did not do his job right. I don't know.
Well, it's the biggest loss of American life in one instance up until 9/11.
Huh. So maybe that was... I don't know. It just seems to me so small fry. Like, if the CIA is in it to try and scare Guyana out of, communism or whatever, it just seems to me like they could have done more. They could have done better. I'm glad they didn't. Thank God lives were spared. I think they had the power to do more. Lock that in, Grant.
Yeah, no, it's actually just blows my mind. Like this whole instance is just like,
but with Leah,
it makes sense, but it's so fucking around the board that it's like
you don't, yeah.
Like you have to have a certain mindset to put the puzzle pieces together, almost.
Like the whole thing with Guy and like the CIA, to me, it's like. That's like, because there's so many possibilities, you don't know what's real. But the fact that he was about to pass legislation against the CIA, it was in UK-controlled territory. He had talks with the CIA, apparently. Like,
and
that's enough evidence.
I think that's what it was. It was more of a cover-up of a murder for the one guy than it was that we're gonna control the Guyana from socialism.
I mean, like I know I just said like it's the biggest loss of U.S. citizens' lives. In like one instance outside of 9/11.
Right.
But the CIA has killed not U.S. citizens in way bigger numbers than that.
Right.
To cover some shit up.
Exactly.
How many drone strikes have we done on American citizens?
But dude, this is like the craziest part though, is before he was attacked with a knife, when leaving Jonestown, Ryan had told Jim Jones and the inner circle that he didn't see a problem with what was going on at Jonestown. He was going to give a glowing review of the standard of living
Right.
of
Damn.
Jonestown. And then fucking, I don't think that Jim Jones was expecting that, because then one of his followers attacks him with a knife and they boogie, and then he gets assassinated.
So that's where I don't think it was Jim Jones.
Yeah, and that's fair, but
If you're gonna get a golden review by someone,
I don't think that it's Jim Jones. I think Jim Jones thinks that he's calling the shots, but I don't think it's
Yes.
Jim Jones calling the shots.
Yep. I figured that. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
I feel
Dwyer.
like
It's that fucking snaky ass Dwyer guy.
Jim Jones called some shots, but they weren't the big boy moves that he thought he was calling.
He called more shots on people's backs when he was banging them from behind than he did in the
Yeah,
fucking
smacking
organization,
them.
dude.
And I see it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the, like, it's like either he's 100% in on it or he's being manipulated. I'm more inclined to think that he was manipulated, especially with the amounts of LSD that they found in his body during his autopsy. Fucking astronomical. I heard someone, like a reporter, say that with the blindness that he was suffering, probably the only two things that he could see when he was doing his last temple gathering was the blurred, blinding shapes that he could see because his vision was going, and whatever he was hallucinating. And he's still able to get up there and do a fucking 40-minute speech convincing 1,000 people to kill themselves.
Isn't that weird when you think about people who, like, I never even thought about that until you said that. Someone who can't see that well, if they take fucking hallucinogenic drugs, like, what is their brain coming up with? Because they kind of create their own imagery, you know?
I feel like, I don't know, I went weird thoughts, but when I do hallucinogenic drugs, and I see a lot of, like, Aztec kind of drawing god things, I guess I would say, like, that's just what
Hieroglyphics.
you know, whatever the Aztecs were drawing, but that's what I see.
It's a crazy world out there.
Remember the first time I took hallucinogenic drugs and ran into a cast iron cutout of a moose in the middle of the fucking
That was
woods.
not the first time.
Well, it was one of the first times. It was one of the first times it ever affected me.
No way, we was at Southdale before that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was
that
like
was
the
my
first time.
first-
That was my.
I don't really,
one of my
I don't
first
really
times.
count. I don't really
yeah.
count salvia as like, as far.
I-
No, I mean
jeez.
like in the
Not that
in the,
weak pussy shit that started coming
No,
out, but that
no.
shit we were doing on the holy fuck.
no, like in the way
duration?
that duration and the way that it
Yeah.
affects like my brain.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm like on other hallucinogenic drugs, I'm like,
I can
oh
move around
okay,
and do
like well
stuff.
it's like
it's not really hallucinogenic.
well it's not even that. It's just like
more of mind
altering.
Yeah.
mind altering.
Yes.
Not
But
yeah,
like salvia, it's just like I'm just gonna lay here and see shit for 15 minutes.
you don't come to any you don't realize that your life's a lie and you made big mistakes in life
No,
and you
no.
need to go make up for your problems. You're so fucked up that you just want to jump out of a window even though you're on a playground.
Like when I think of a hallucinogen, I don't think of something you need to take turns doing because you need to make sure your buddy doesn't kill himself.
yeah.
Like I think of like, you know, like mushrooms or
Yeah.
or like
People,
half a tab.
people talk about
Half a tab and chill.
when
Who
you're
was
on
our
acid.
babysitter?
What's
Dude,
that?
does anybody remember who our babysitter was?
Well, the first time it was you, I think,
I don't think so.
at
Maybe
the playground.
We
maybe
all
like-
did it. We all did it at that playground. So maybe I was, and I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm going." But I feel like we had.
I remember
somebody there.
that fucking
I
one
don't remember.
party, birthday party we were at where Dylan cleaned the bowl off while everyone was leaving
The
and
second-
fell through the fucking bathtub.
The second, yeah, I think someone, I don't know if it was Mike. I think it was Mike. I think you gave me another rip of it, and I just got fucking
Dylan
destroyed.
just tears the bathtub curtains down with him as he falls into the tub.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I don't.
Fucking
yeah.
Mikey looks at his reflection while he's tripping balls and runs
Fucking
into the wall.
Salvia is an insane drug. Like, I mean,
I thought we was on a school bus that whole time. Man, shit.
should not have taken this. You guys, like, everyone's leaving, turns the lights off, and instantly my body just starts to fall back.
Dylan just falls into their bathtub.
Bro, Crazy.
I still remember that house too.
At least they didn't have like a paned bathtub sliding door or something.
Right. Oh my god.
I mean, it wouldn't have fucked you up that much, but it would have been a huge mess.
That would have been funny as shit. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Drugs are crazy. I think acid and like shrooms, like I think though, like if someone tried to
Take
mess
half.
with me,
Just take half.
if someone, well, I mean, I don't care. Take as much as you want, but I've never been on. I'm not trying to. Hopefully, people don't ever listen to this who want to employ me someday. Even though I don't even care. This is my job. I could get fucking ripped on acid, shrooms, whatever you want. No one in their right mind could make me, like, I get you're more susceptible, but I feel like if someone else can make you think something, how weak fucking minded do you have to be? Like, I get, like...
The thing about it is, man, like, when you're on this shit, your brain is in, like, a different... It's like you're still learning, kind of, almost. So you're, like... I don't know.
I feel like we teach our, like, confident people like ourselves, like, when we take these, we're learning from ourselves.
Yeah.
We're in this state where we're so confident, we're bringing up ideas that we believe, like, we're so in control of things, and I think it's great. You know, that's why I said all the people there are a bunch of pussies who just... Are getting manipulated. Jim Jones might have been he probably was like a 5'4" pussy who just didn't know how to fight anyone. That's probably why he held those fight tournaments, you know? Like, I don't know either, but doesn't that kind of make sense? Like, if you're a smaller person, you have this
Napoleon complex
where you're fucking you have this need to be
5'11". Oh no, that's not Jim Jones. Oh, I typed in Jim Jones like the UFC fighter.
Yeah, that guy would beat the other that guy would beat the other Jim Jones ass.
Oh my god. I can't even fucking get my head straight.
Jameson Jones? That was his original name, right? Jameson's Jones.
Oh my god, dude, I'm fucking I just looked up Jim Jones. Oh my god.
I'm more fucking Bones Jones will whip some ass.
His middle name is Guillermo. Joseph Guillermo Jones, known by
5'8". I mean, not that short.
That's
okay, but
short,
I mean, come on, yeah,
Napoleon complex.
Hey, that's like 4 inches shorter than all of us here.
That's 8 to 12 for talk about. That's probably like 6 inches shorter. That's like fucking some guys looking at me down at my shoulders, feeling like a pussy. Okay, that guy had a Napoleon complex, which probably made him more susceptible.
That's probably Kendall's height.
This is why I think this is important, why I was talking about earlier, though, because you don't see any really buff people there because they don't have this fucking need. It's all these people who are so fucking small and
small-minded, I would say. It's not even bodied, but like small-minded people that can't think for themselves are here because I think they need somebody to tell them what they need to do.
But I think that too. And when you look at it, I mean, back in the day, people weren't as tall. I feel like as they were today, just because of natural people fucking tall giants, bitches and shit. I mean, back in the day, back in the day, yeah. But I mean, we started getting smaller. The smaller you were, the less attention you got, the more attention you paid to other things. I feel like that's just like...
Dude, and you could go underneath the bed and grab stuff.
Exactly. Jim Jones could probably get anything under his bed.
So,
anything.
Before the suicide, Marceline Jones, his wife, made a broadcast telling the people of Jonestown that everything was okay, but they needed to return to their homes. Workers in the inner circle prepared a large metal tub with grape flavor aid, poisoned with Valium, chloral hydrate, cyanide, and Phenergan? I don't know.
You think it was
some drug.
You think it was painful?
No, not with the Valium in there.
I don't know. Valium doesn't do that much to...
well, I was going to think, too, with how fast the other shit starts hitting your body. I mean, we talked about people were dying before other people even got their dose, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so after preparing the mixture, Jones called all the members on the PA system to the Temple Pavilion. And at the Pavilion, he... gave a speech, a 45-minute recording known as the Death Tape. and it records part of the meeting. On the tape, he urges his followers to commit revolutionary suicide, saying that they weren't going to die. They were going to a better socialist world.
That's okay. That's the other thing I think I was kind of confused about is the idea that did he tell them, like, was this like a cult of, yo, we're gonna shed our skin and like go and see Zoltan in the space?
Yeah.
cosmos?
No, that's Scientology.
No.
But I mean, did he Zoltan? Did he say, like, did they talk about, like, that was that part of the cult? Like, I know that I don't know, like, what did he tell his people? Did he say,
To get
like,
him to move to California, he said that it was safe because there was going to be a nuclear holocaust, and Indiana was not in the safe zone.
Right. But then it's like, after that, it's like,
I was wrong. Sorry you sold your house.
well, no, did he have religious? I don't like to say that word. I like to say, I mean, I think religion is cult, so I guess I will say religion. Did he tell them, like, this, like, you guys, when we die, we're, like you said, we're going to a better place, but was that part of their learning, that they were going to go to a different place?
I'm not necessarily sure, because he kind of like, in the late 60s, disavowed all religion.
I feel like his movement and push was more towards, we're going to die anyways. Like, we're getting invaded.
He was telling them, like, the plane's gonna get shot down, or like the pilot's getting shot in the back of the head right now. Like, the CIA is gonna helicopter in and kill us all. So he's like, you can either die peacefully with this grape flavor aid, or you can get killed by the CIA. He's like, they're not gonna take prisoners. We just killed a congressman, which hadn't even happened yet. Like,
wait, so it didn't even happen?
No, it was before the congressman was killed that they started preparing this.
So then he did order to kill the congressman. He was a part of it. If he's talking about that, then
that's
he
what I'm
was
saying.
a part
He's
of
100% a part of it. It's just how big a part of it that he was.
Something that really amused me, I think, which was kind of crazy, was I don't know how often they did this and how much they did this, but they talked about how to keep people scared, a few of the things they did. One of them was they'd have their people out in the jungle shooting the guns off into the trees. So people, like, in the village were hearing gunshots constantly. Apparently, like, they just kept hearing gunshots.
Yeah, it's a scare tactic.
Yeah, and another thing, that he would hire actors to go out into, like, a field or something, or do something, and he had, like, guns with rubber bullets that he would, like, pay these people so they could shoot him. They'd wheel him off or whatever, and he'd go just live his normal life. Like, he paid actors to fucking do shit like that. I don't know.
Sounds about right. Sounds about like Jim Jones, Jonestown.
I mean, dude, I don't want to say you deserve it, but for getting yourself into a cult, I mean, you get what you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
You got to pick a better leader.
But
Don't be your own leader. I feel like we talk about people with big muscles. We don't see them there because they're strong enough. They have this mindset that they don't really necessarily need someone to lead them in that kind of way in how you feel and shit. Like, this was all just a bunch of people who had hate towards, like you said in the beginning, people who had hate towards other people, and he was able to find out the reasons why, you know, how to make these people tick and get them to join his cause. It's all a bunch of weak pussies who had hate towards someone, and he figured out how to make these weak pussies.
I'm gonna say it right now. There's a whole bunch of chin beards.
Chin beards.
Yeah. Is that not a thing, you guys? Is that not a thing anymore?
It's
I
not
don't
a thing
know.
anymore, no.
Oh damn.
That's like 2010.
Damn.
What? Out of the chin beard?
It's like when Reddit started, they'd be like, if someone defended someone on Reddit, it'd be like, shut up, neckbeard.
Huh.
Oh, neck beard. I guess what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, I knew what you were talking about.
Is it actually supposed to be because they have a neck beard?
It's just an insult for a fat guy on the internet.
Because you see them, they all just have like the beard only on their neck and not on their face.
Oh, well, that is very weird, and I don't like to look at that. So,
So members of the temple one of the first things you hear on the tape is Jones saying, as the recording starts, is get Dwyer out of here before something bad happens. Dwyer being the CIA liaison of Leo Ryan.
Yeah.
So instead of going with Leo Ryan, he stayed at Jonestown to take the report of that guy trying to stab him. And then he was there when they started their temple meeting where they were going to kill everyone or have everyone kill themselves / kill everyone because the autopsies are conflicting. But
well, yeah, they had people with needles still stuck in their arms, bent up and shit.
They had people with crossbow bolts in their fucking neck.
So what I want to know is who came? I mean, not who, but like why the idea of suicide by mass poisoning by Kool-Aid or Flavor Aid or whatever it is, but like why not just line everybody up and just
cheaper with the Kool-Aid, man.
You think so?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, you're saying line them up and shoot them, like
I mean
like Holocaust style, or
I don't know.
Because
there's got to be an easier way.
Well, because the CIA's main job at that point in time was to fight socialism and communism.
Right.
And so now they get a report that a socialist commune had just killed a congressman and then committed mass suicide.
Right.
So it's just a propaganda psyop against socialist. Like, it's like, oh, you thought that having a socialist commune would be good and in the 70s,
Right.
80s? Like, yeah, but look what happened to Jonestown.
Exactly.
Like, this CIA and the U.S. government benefited so goddamn much from the events that happened in Jonestown.
Oh, definitely.
Like, even shit that you don't see on paper, especially when you look into the part where Dwyer is there, the CIA is there, like, fucking Leo Ryan is actively fighting against the CIA's, like, blanket shadow power. Like, are you aware of the power of shadows?
Are you aware of the power?
Because the power of shadow, the CIA is, and they've been
I'll
keeping
send
the
you all
power
to
of
the-
shadows.
No,
you know?
Grant, you
Shadow
don't
realm.
understand. I meant, are you aware of the power of shadows?
Lock it in.
Shadows! Lock it in, Grant!
No, but it's like every major person that's ever tried to go up against the CIA has died.
Yeah.
CIA.
And this is
Okay,
the point in
okay.
the show where we all say, "I love." Hold on, I'll look into the camera and then I'll give you guys the chance to do the same. I love living. I love being alive. I'm very happy, and I don't plan on killing myself. All right, now you guys can do it.
Together. Ready?
I love
living.
Don't
I
kill me,
don't
CIA.
kill myself. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm never gonna commit suicide.
Yeah, it's
Bro,
just,
Never. Never ever.
so members of the temple begin lining up using syringe with no needles to. That's why I want to get turkey basters in case you guys hit the word of the day, but we're so far past it. That's not
turkey
gonna
baster.
It's not going to
PPs.
happen tonight.
Oh, where
did
did
you
you
get
come
in
from,
here?
studio dog?
Podcast dog making an entrance.
Members, they used like syringes without needles to squirt the poison into the infants' mouths and then the children's mouths and then drank it themselves. They basically went up as families and they were escorted out. And survivors were saying that they weren't sure if it was another white knight exercise, but because of like the conversations because they had on the death tape, there's members arguing, well, why don't we just try to flee to the USSR?
Right.
Like, they'll take us in. We've been supporting them. Like, they've been sending them. Literally, the Jonestown was sending the money that the U.S. and UK government gave them to the United Socialist Union of Russia.
Yeah, that's how like 5 people survived because they were on a mission to go give this briefcase to the USSR embassy.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they didn't get killed because they were on this mission.
I also heard some people just faked. It said some people who defected or got away faked being dead.
Really?
Which I know, I don't know. They must have done something a little more secretive because it said that.
Did you hear about that grandma or whatever? She
No.
slept through the whole thing.
Really?
Yep, she was some like 75-year-old black lady. She just slept through the whole thing.
Bro, they said people were looking for people that they were like checking heartbeats and shit, and if they had heartbeats, they would shoot them. Like they were making sure everyone was dead. Which, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, like, if you make me drink, like, cyanide rat poisoning Kool-Aid and I'm not fully dead, like, please fucking kill me.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather have you shoot a couple bullets in my brain than drink that shit and die like that.
Dude, being poisoned would probably be the worst.
Oh, my God, it would be the worst. You feel like your body's shutting down.
And
it's
you're
just
puking out your guts.
Right. Like, you can't breathe. It's like, it's like drowning, but worse.
You're drowning in your own guts.
Yeah.
Well, some members were like wandering around, like waiting to die after watching their kids die, and guards would come up to them and be like, "You have your choice: death by poison or death by guard."
I'd be guard all day, baby.
Same. Shoot me. I'll never drink poison. Shoot me. Shoot me.
I mean, you're drinking Fireball right now.
Yeah, but it's scientifically proven that a little bit of alcohol a day can help you.
It's scientifically proven that they did take the windshield wiper fluid out of it.
This episode is brought to you by Fireball.
Antifreeze.
Fireball.
Wait, easy with that. We don't want to get a cease and desist letter.
Antifreeze. Antifreeze. This podcast is brought to you by Antifreeze. Drink Antifreeze.
His wife, Marceline, left a note next to her dead body that said, all of the bank accounts with the Jones family name involved in it are to be donated to the USSR, a sum of $7.4 million.
Jesus.
Damn.
And some of that was taxpayer money.
That's crazy. So they try and, but I'm confused. This is my confusion. They were trying to stop. Were they going against the U.S.? Were they allies with the USSR
Yes.
at the time?
Yes.
No, Jonestown was.
Jonestown was, but the American government wasn't.
No.
So why would they try
This
and
is during the Cold War.
But why would they try and start this and then try and give everything to the USSR?
To make everyone scared of socialism in the USSR.
I guess it's just a no.
It's
I guess you could have said we want to give $100 million, $1 million, and then everyone laughs at Dr. Evil because he's been frozen for 30 years.
Well, that's what a psyop is. It's like we're intentionally doing something to not make you scared of the fact that the government's capable of doing said thing. It's to make you scared of what the thing. It's like what the effect of said thing has.
Yeah, I get that. Which, I mean, I think that might have been their power play to try and connect ties to the USSR, like something that's like that, because, I mean, people, the scare tactics of it, like, I don't think it scared people more if you had them communicating with the USSR. Like, that would be more scary than anything that, I mean, that's like the end game goal, is to get people scared of, like you said, like, get them scared of a socialist community. But the fact that they're trying to give money to the USSR is probably like the biggest picture of like, this is like, dude, this is what socialism does.
Yeah. That's I think 100% that's the big
picture.
The end game goal of what the CIA's ties to Jonestown was like, look, they're friends with the USSR, they're socialist, and they all killed themselves, and they killed babies.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's just insane that really is, like, I mean, it's crazy when you take something as simple. I didn't know going into this. I thought Jonestown was really simple.
Nope.
Not so fucking simple.
Not so simple. But yeah, Jones himself didn't even drink the Kool-Aid. He shot himself in the head.
Yeah, which, I mean...
And then someone drank poison and then laid a pillow under his head and fucking went off to die in the jungle.
Do we know? Maybe someone else shot Jones. Do we know for sure? Is
well,
there any account of him actually shooting himself?
One of his surviving sons claims that his father would never shoot himself in the head. But
So one of the things I saw on that is that he had said that he really admired Hitler for doing that instead of letting the Allies capture and humiliate them.
I could see that. He definitely admired the fuck out of Hitler.
So that is one of the things I saw on that.
He was fucking 10 years old in the 40s reading Mein Kampf.
He probably had like hallucinations like, what?
Hitler was one of my past lives.
Gandhi, you're telling me I shouldn't do that? Well, I mean,
Fuck
Gandhi.
you, Gandhi.
Hitler.
Gandhi's on this shoulder. Hitler's on his shoulder.
No, Gandhi's on this shoulder. Hitler, Marxism, Stalin, fucking whoever
Mao.
is on Maz on his other shoulder, being like, dude, that guy's a bitch. Like, you want to play with that guy? Like, that guy's a bitch.
Dude, he got thrown off a train. What a pussy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's honestly going into this episode.
Oh, it gets weirder. Don't worry. Not very much weirder, but it does get weirder.
That was a burp.
But yeah, no, fucking just his influences are just should have just been a red flag. If you're supporting Adolf Hitler in the 40s in the United States of America.
Yeah. I mean, but there actually, in the 40s in the United States of America, that was actually not too uncommon, I guess. The KKK was at large.
That's how Citibank got started.
Damn.
Now they pick our president's cabinet.
That's how a lot of our fucking, I mean, our cabinet already got picked by Barack Obama, but yeah.
Yeah, but literally it got leaked that the original Obama administration cabinet was sent to him by Citibank in an email.
Really?
Yeah.
So Biden's just picking the same people pretty much.
Basically, yeah. Mirror
Made me feel
Tandon,
sick.
all the usual fucking assholes.
Yeah.
I had to take a second. Tell me
So
about this extra juicy.
this is where it gets even weirder. So the Guyanese government comes in, and the original body count that they had was only 400 bodies, but later, like a second count showed 900 bodies, and their official statement was, the original 400 bodies were covering the other 500 plus bodies.
Jesus. They couldn't get an accurate count.
The math doesn't add up.
They couldn't get it. You think they couldn't get an accurate count because all the bodies were in a pile?
No, I mean the bodies weren't. If you
they're spread out.
Yeah,
they just kind of like wandered and died.
Okay.
It looked like they were. Yeah, it just looked like a big field of dead.
Yeah, it basically looked like a Vietnam War scene.
Kind of want that picture on my wall.
That black lady that said she slept through the whole thing. She said she woke up the next morning and walked out, and there was just a whole bunch of white sheets covering dead bodies.
Yeah,
just everywhere.
The government came in almost immediately after it happened. Like it's
surprise.
Oh yeah,
surprise.
Yeah,
surprise.
But like just like imagine having 400 beads that are blue and 400 beads that are red, and they're all the exact same size. Put the red ones on the floor and then pour the blue ones on top. They don't cover them up.
Right.
Well, yeah, some of them do, but
not 400.
Not
marbles.
Not 100,
Let's think
100 plus.
Marbles, like you take, yeah. I mean,
I don't know if you guys ever fucking piled dead bodies on top of each other. You can make a wall out of that shit.
Okay, Mr. 300.
Okay, Jim Jones.
That's exactly where I saw it too, was 300.
Makes a very good arrow shield.
We'll fight in the dark.
I think that's wild. Like, it's like, really, like, you can't be that unless your job is to do it and you don't care about your job and you're like, they'll never know how many bodies there were. Let's just say there's 400. And they're like, that doesn't make sense. You're like, oh my God, we didn't know because the bodies were being covered by other bodies.
Sorry, we missed 550 of them. Another weird thing is the autopsies showed that some people were straight up injected between the shoulder blades. Some people still had syringes in them.
Yep.
Other people were shot by crossbows and guns. So I mean, like, it's and the autopsies all are, it's suicide. Like, where's the crossbow then? Because it should be laying right next to the guy that shot himself in the throat.
Suicide.
I love it because, man, like, this is like, I just recently watched the American Horror Story cult, and like they referenced Jonestown in it, And literally in the episode or in the show, like he has like his followers, like all these men just jacked up, ready to drink Kool-Aid and die, and they all do it. And like,
I mean, we're drinking Kool-Aid
none of them die though.
I was pretty jacked for this Kool-Aid.
For them, it was like a
way.
test. For them, it was. I honestly wonder if this is where it comes from. The white night parties or whatever that inspired that episode that he made them drink fake poison Kool-Aid to kill themselves. Because
I mean, how many times did they have this thing that they were like, oh, well, let's just drink this Kool-Aid. We're having a party. And then
It's a Kool-Aid party.
Well, I mean,
man.
but it wasn't. It was a party, but it was what it was described as was a simulation of what.
yeah,
if
but
they, like.
okay, so they've done this 14 times.
I know exactly, and
You know?
but the last time they had to have known because it was a
Not
whole.
not
They
the
can't
kids,
really do it a
not the
time
kids,
after the
bro.
last time when everyone ends up.
Not
Well,
the
I
kids,
know, but the
bro.
last time when they're like, okay, like I know before we just had everyone drink Kool-Aid, but like this time, like bring your kids up first, inject them, and then like I couldn't imagine he would do it that way every single time. There's no way that he would have families
Yeah.
start off by injecting their kids first. This last time of killing them all had to have been different.
Well, and they said like it for the kids, it only took like maybe 5 minutes for the poison to kill them, but the parents had to sit there with poison in their bodies for like 30 minutes after that, knowing that they just killed their kids.
Yeah, fuck that. You're going to hell.
That's what I'm
If there is
saying.
a-
Like
They're not going to
everyone-
hell or heaven. They're going to a socialist commune in the afterlife. That's what Jim Jones promised them.
Mother Russia.
Okay.
They're going to a better place.
Is there
without the
72
CIA?
versions?
I don't know. There's not a CIA though.
Would it
Because
be
the CIA will
virgins?
never die because they will not allow themselves to die.
Why you on my cords, Big Pop?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird
Thank
fucking. It's almost weird. It's sad because like you think of that as a wild cult, but then I feel like I was gonna make a point earlier that did the CIA kind of fuck themselves for trying to pull the cult card this early and making people too afraid of cults so they can't do this again to get other people leading? But then it's like,
No,
No,
holy
this is
shit,
perfect
the
timing.
Democrat and Republican Party cult.
well,
Oh,
and
man,
then in like I think it was like just a couple years later, the Heaven's Gate cult happened in California too, which is like that Family Guy episode with like the ear sex and they all drink Kool-Aid and
Yep.
die. Mm-hmm. Like that's another episode that we're gonna be doing.
Wait, they had ear sex?
sometime soon. No, that's just the Family Guy thing.
Oh, okay. I'll say ear
That's
sex.
just Seth MacFarlane being a fucking nut.
Once you go...
Yeah, that
2 hours. Wow.
Yep. I think it's
Oh,
I think it's-
I got one more juicy thing after your
well,
thought.
we have to get the word of the day.
Oh, we're so far past the word of the day. I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be like a way long time ago.
I know. Before we get to your last thought, we might as well just fucking.
It's
get
about
to
jerking off in a movie theater, and a celebrity that got caught jerking off in public.
A celebrity that got jerking off in public.
Michael Carrion.
No,
Dylan DeGroat. Damn it. A celebrity got caught jerking off in public at a park by
Who's the dude that did Transformers?
Shia LaBeouf,
no. So
Bryan Cranston.
Mel Gibson.
I'll give you another hint. The whole word of the day is inspired after this person.
Is it the guy from...
The person who jerked off in public. It's not his name. It's what?
Well, it's his stage name, but he inspired the word of the day.
Logan Paul.
No.
We need better.
He was famous for a movie called So and So's Big Adventure. He got caught jerking off in public.
So and so's big.
Oh,
adventure.
okay.
Literally, Eminem references him in the song called what's the song
I was
called?
jerking
Where
with
where he's
my
got the
Jergens.
little dog. Shake
Mm-mm.
Shake that ass. Not shake that ass.
This looks like a job for me everywhere. It feels so empty without me. What is that song?
No. The one with the
Michael
dog.
Jackson.
No, I like. God, dude, you guys, I can't believe this is this hard.
Your clues suck. I'm
clues
sorry.
really
Your
suck.
clues
Celebrity
suck.
that got caught masturbating in public inspired literally the noise that we do word of the day.
Oh, Pee Wee Herman.
Really?
Oh man, I forgot about that actually.
I never. Crazy.
Dylan, you want to top those off?
I would love to.
Mike? Yes, well, yes.
I'm good on the fireball.
You good?
Yeah, I'm not a fireball kind of guy.
You are fake news.
Put you up the bigger boy. No, I literally, like, the minute I thought I said he got caught jacking off in a movie theater, I thought someone was going to be like, oh, like Pee Wee Herman.
I don't remember hearing that at all, but I'm glad that we do a podcast. The only reason I'm glad we're doing this podcast, the only reason is because I'm glad that I found out Pee Wee Herman jerked off in a movie theater and
You
nothing else.
didn't know that? Piper.
Damn! Studio
Podcast
dog.
dog.
Piper. All right,
What's the problem?
cheers to the word of the day. If you got a word of the day shot ready, take a shot with us. Stop being a dickhead. Get back in the car, bitch.
Get in the car, bitch.
Bitch. Studio dog was fucking shit up. Had to let her go.
Okay, last
literally just
topic, AJ. Let's hear it.
Oh,
What was the
okay,
last?
so on at 3 a.m. on the 19th, a medevac left from Charleston, North Carolina for Guyana. 25 minutes after the flight had left, with the people that were supposedly on the flight reporting, the CIA members on the flight reported a mass suicide in Jonestown. They were over the Atlantic Ocean
When they
before
reported it.
before they even landed. Reported it.
Damn.
Huh.
That is insane. Did not
Yeah.
read that.
Say that again.
So while they were flying to Guyana, the same people that were on the plane there to report on what happened sent a report 25 minutes after takeoff.
It's like
they were already
they were
there.
already going there.
Yeah,
They was
were.
already there.
Yeah,
But how do we get this kind of information? I mean, is it through people
so
talking?
that is archived. It's just something that.
They
an
have
art-
to,
an
they
article-
have to log.
Well, it's an article that I read that someone way smarter than me had put together through the Joint Chiefs of Staff's their what would you call it? Like collection of information over the case. The Joint Chiefs of Staff being like the person that's like the group of people that sit directly under the president. That's not the cabinet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some reporter kind of threw that together, and I just stumbled
Damn.
across it. I was like, oh. So Richard Dwyer sent in that information probably.
Oh,
Right.
definitely.
That's crazy. I'm going to be preaching to everyone I ever talk to for the next week, which is probably just going to be my girlfriend, about this whole thing. But
Go drink some Kool-Aid, you bitch.
get in the house, bitch.
Every day you
Drink
just-
some great Kool-Aid, bitch.
Every day you just bring her grape Kool-Aid to work, or when she gets home, let her drink that shit, and then maybe on like the 64th day, you put a little bit of fucking cyanide in there.
Get out of my
I
house,
thought you were gonna say
bitch.
rat
I'm
poison.
gonna
It's like you
fuck
put
this
just a
fat
little
chick.
bit of rat poison in, and they're just gonna start losing their hair, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Is that really what happens?
I think like very small amounts of it. Either that or like the TV show I watched was wrong. It's probably the TV show was wrong, but
I had this very, very shitty roommate. No names will be said, but he was a lot bigger than me. Probably, I would say 100 pounds bigger than me, so I could whip my ass. So I was very passive-aggressive about things. And I put Nair in his shampoo.
Nice.
Let's say that. And he's
classic.
very almost bald now.
All the greatest hits. Well, boys, we hit 2
Yeah.
hours. You guys ready to?
Let's call it a day.
wrap it up,
I'm
bro.
drinking enough Kool-Aid, cyanide, and Fireball.
Dude, yeah, this is
to last
this
me
is
a
the most
lifetime.
amount of sugar I've put in my body in a very long time, and I have a stomach ache right now.
Damn, I thought it was some good Kool-Aid, man.
I
Low
mean,
sugar.
it tastes good. It's low sugar
There was
Kool-Aid,
not
but
enough sugar in there. For me.
No, that was perfect Kool-Aid.
You
I
guys
could
have
drink that
never
shit all
been
day.
to a black barbecue.
no, you're right. I've been invited to a couple, but I've never been able to attend.
I haven't been to a black barbecue, but
They
like,
would
I
laugh.
used to go to the
They
Waterloo.
would fucking laugh at y'all for this Kool-Aid. I'm just saying.
Okay,
This Kool-Aid is
okay,
very,
they would laugh
very
for the
white
Kool-Aid,
people
but
Kool-Aid.
I think one thing that's fucking awesome about like the black community, like in Waterloo, like we're so close. Like our buddy Austin, like when he lived there, we'd go there all the time, and how how people are hanging outside all the time and like how nice some of the neighbors were, like how inviting they are to us about being
awesome.
white. It's crazy. We live in Cedar Falls where
This show, my other job, they are from Waterloo, and they're like, yeah, dude, coming to work's fun when you're here, but when you're not here, it sucks. I'm like, why? They're like, oh, when you're here, it's like being at the barber shop. I'm like, oh, really? Like, because we just sit there and talk shit to each other and roast each other and shit.
Right.
But yeah, all right, boys.
let's end it. Goodbye, guys. We're gonna go play games and not give a shit about
Thanks
you.
for the fucking opportunities.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the WRK podcast, where we ask the questions, but at the end of the day, who really knows? As always, I'm your host, AJ, here with my good friends Dylan and Michael.
Hoi hoi.
And yeah, today we brought you some Jonestown experience. But yeah, make sure you follow us on Twitter at WRKPod, on Instagram at WRKPodcast. And yeah, you can support the show on patreon.com/WRKPod. Woo! And yeah, outside of that, just show us you love us in the comment section. Make sure you follow us and subscribe us on everything. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, everything. We're on everything. iHeartRadio.
Lock that in, Grant.
Just lock it in.
But yeah, we'll catch you next week with another juicy topic. And before that, just enjoy life.
Yeah, dude.
And we'll catch you next time.